What's going on?
Hear me?
Yep. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is DJ Big Shot right here at waen-tv. It is 11 o'clock a.m. on the dot. Got a very special guest here today. He is an entrepreneur, a U.S. Army veteran, right from Salter, South Carolina, King Street High School grad. Give it up for Mr. KT Bradley. What's going on, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for joining with us today. Um, Mr. KT Bradley here is what he calls a veteran entrepreneur. He has a product that he's promoting, especially for the young men. I'm gonna let him talk about it some more, but he calls himself what is called a veteran entrepreneur. Before we get started, I just want to ask you, what does that necessarily mean for those who don't know, and just a little bit more about you and who you are.
So, a entrepreneur is basically a veteran, a United States military veteran. For the other, the traditional 9 to 5 does not work for us. We'd rather build our own dreams than get paid to build somebody else's. So, we go into business for ourselves, either by a franchise or we have a product or service that we offer that's unique to us and something that we do well. We take those skills that we learned in the military and use those to our advantage to kind of bring another aspect to the market in which we want to move in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like you said, I started out in a small town called Shaud, South Carolina. Graduated King Street High School class in '93. Went into the military. Did 20 years in the military. Been here, been there, been some of everywhere. And one thing I've always wanted to do, being in the military, when I went in, you weren't allowed to have a beard. So, when I come home on leave, I let mine grow a little bit. But then when I got out, I really got enthralled with it. The thing was, though, a lot of products that people sell on the market, they have a lot of different chemicals in it. And some of the stuff that I was using, it was making my beard look good, but it was making my skin, bad. Like I would have like flaky skin. My skin would dry up, it would tighten. Like it wasn't. It was good for my the hairs in my beard, but it wasn't good for my skin. So I found out that more natural oils, your olive oils, your almond oils, castor oils, things like that, are better for not only your skin, but they're good for your beard as well. So I had to be my own test subject. So I tested and I tried different combinations of things. And I wanted something that not only was, good for me and good for other people with beards, I wanted something that smelled good too. So along came lion's milk. And I call it that because I genuinely believe that every person with a beard, their beard is distinct, just like a lion's mane. If you look at lions, no two lions' manes are the same. They're like a fingerprint, so to speak. And I think my beard is signature of me. It's a nice mixture. If you've seen me on Facebook, it's a nice mixture of salt and pepper. I like to think. Not bragging on myself or anything like that, but
Salt and pepper. Salt and
I
pepper
look good
beard.
for 47 in 2 days. So that's kind of what the aim is here behind this particular product. So once I got into that, I also got into thinking about taking care of the entire face. Also developed a sugar scrub with that. So the sugar scrub is also it's a oil-based sugar scrub. It's brown sugar, all natural products. Basically, this sugar scrub you can eat it. It's non-toxic.
Shout out to all the Scorpios. It is Scorpio season. But so you were saying that you were not allowed to have a beard in the army. Is there a reason why particularly?
Well, they said back then that the protective mask, didn't seal properly with the beard. We found that to not be true over time. So now, if you see a lot of military, according to what your job or what your physical condition may be. You may have a medical reason why you need to have a beard. It may be religious reasons that you need to have a beard. Um, they're allowed to have beards. We didn't see that when I was in the military, any place within the special operations community. These were the only guys that were able to have beards.
Okay. And you were just talking about, dry skin. I am one of those people that really, have, dry skin. So it's definitely important to have a product that not only takes care of your beard, but takes care of your skin as well. You were just talking about how every man's beard is different, and just like a lion, is that why you call your new product Lion's Milk?
Yeah, yeah. Because this is a product.
But why milk though?
Anything it's not like anything you're gonna find on the shelf. A lot of these products are mass produced. I mix this myself by hand. I'm the only one that has the recipe. I'm the only one that knows the formula. Nobody else knows it. If something was to happen to me today or tomorrow, the recipe would be forever lost because it is not written down. And I refuse to sell it at this particular point in my life.
So I guess another question that I have. You were just talking about oily skin. You was talking about dry skin. What is some other benefits from the lion's milk? What are the other benefits? What other things it can do for your, not only for your beard but for your skin?
Well, number one, it moisturizes. It gives you those oils that a lot of times we do not or cannot take them in internally. It puts it directly at the source of your dryness. If you have oily skin, that's what the brown sugar scrub is for. You want to exfoliate your skin. You want to get all that dead skin off, and then you want to start with a layer of moisturizer. All right. Once you have the dry skin peeled away, and you start a layer of moisturizing on that, whatever area it is, whether it's a beard or anywhere on your face, what that does is it protects you. A lot of people don't understand that when you put a bunch of chemicals on your body builds up a resistance of some type that it's not letting everything in that should be in. Our body naturally produces oils, and sometimes that becomes unbalanced, and that's how we end up with dry skin. The other thing, the biggest part of this, regardless of what you do to your face and put on your face, is what you put in your body. You have to drink water if you have dry skin. You have to drink a lot of water. I'm the type of person who the high pH water because listening to Dr. Sebi, I don't know if you're familiar with him, it's hard for viruses and things like that to exist in your body the higher the pH level. So I moved to high pH water. I've cut back on smoking the cigars. I still will have a cigar occasionally, but I've cut back on that tremendously. I'm trying to eat more natural food products. These are all things that contribute to, either your skin being too oily or too dry. So you have to find that perfect balance within your diet that allows you to, have the skin that you want to have, to have that level of moisture in your skin that is comfortable for you. Because some people, they over moisturize, and that's kind of gross. And then some people, they under moisturize, and that can lead to your flaky skin, your dry spots. I know a lot of people have psoriasis, and they use a lot of different products. That's why this particular oil has oat oil. A lot of people don't understand that oat oil is good for psoriasis.
Okay, I do have KT. I have a question for you. Here's this thing. You were just talking about water, and how drinking water helps with your skin. And then also we know that smoking tobacco and alcohol has a negative effect on your body, your energy, and especially your skin. What is with it? Just seems like a lot of black people don't like to drink water. I hear a lot of younger black uh, men and women say they don't like the taste of water. I mean, what do you say, and how do we, overcome that objective to say, we have this, especially this, addiction to things like caffeine and sugar. How can we start drinking water every day? Like, do we need to put some, make it flavor or something? I mean,
I mean, for me, once I get bored with water, I try to keep the little lemon packet with me. The lemon juice in the packet or a lime juice packet of some type. That way it switches it up. You're not drinking just blah blah water. For me, the high pH water is, I mean, I like it. I think it tastes better than your regular waters for some reason. I don't know if it's just all in my mind or not. It could be. However, if you wrap your mind around, this is essential, and I only have to do this, 64 ounces a day, that's 8 ounces 8 times a day. If you're drinking a glass of water before and after each meal, number one, you're going to regulate your body weight, you're going to regulate how much you eat. Being in a position right now where I've gained a few pounds in the last couple of months, I think that's essential for me. Simply because there's a weight that I'm, and drinking the water helps me the myriad of things. One is the level of moisture in my skin and keeping my skin from being dry. Two is regulating my diet and when I eat and what I eat. And then on the other side of that, the overall benefit of having a body and having your body function the way that it's supposed to. A lot of people don't understand your body. The majority of your body is water. It's made up of water. And if you don't put that back, you're destroying something. You're not going to get, coffee has some water in it. And I'm probably sure Red Bull and Rockstar and all those things have some water in it. However, you're not getting the full benefit of ingesting water. If you don't like water, if you just can't do water, switch it up with some Gatorade or some Powerade. But you have to keep yourself hydrated, because we can make the best product in the world for your skin, but if you're not doing what you have to do internally to keep yourself healthy, our product is you're using our product for no reason, basically. I mean, yes, it smells good, it makes your beard smell good. Whatever you put it on is going to smell good. I think you said it kind of reminded you of walking out of the barbershop after a haircut.
yeah, I actually brought a little sample that you gave me. Smells like cologne. Smell like old people cologne, man.
It's not old people cologne, but I mean, think about that classic barbershop cut. Back in the day when they used to sharpen their razors on the piece of leather on the side of the chair and all that good stuff. They foam up the soap and give you a nice shave. Like, that's the classic man smell to me.
I don't know if everybody can see this, but it's clear. It's very colorless. It does have a faint smell of cologne. It does smell like a grown man right here.
But yeah, there's no fragrance in it. These are the blends. The way that I blend the oil.
And I can put this on my skin too, right?
Yeah. What's that?
I can put this on my skin.
You can put it on your skin. You can put it anywhere. Now, mind you, that mixture is going to cause hair to grow. I would not put it anywhere that I not want.
Let me put it away.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Putting this all in my eyeballs.
That unibrow. Don't put that on your eyebrows. You have that unibrow going on.
You were just talking about hair growth, and there's a lot of men who struggle with hair growth. What kind of increase can I see when it comes to hair growth? Do you have like the signs down pack, or how long it might take? Basically, to grow hair? Or
Everybody is different. Everybody is different. What I like to do for a lot of people is an individual consult. Because some people, they have a beard. However, they may have all but for that, we still have micro. Some people don't know how to moisturize their beard evenly. That's why we sell a comb and a brush set. The comb that we use is all sandalwood because it distributes the oil evenly throughout the beard. The brush is, that's basically just the styling. You want to use a boar bristle brush, just like when you was, back in the day when you was trying to get your waves together to look good, back in high school. I mean, I know that was last year for you, but you want to use natural products to distribute the oils evenly through your beard and through your hair.
so, quick question. So basically, we have the lion's milk. Um, it smells great. It feels great. I only have a little sample of it right here. Um, how? Tell me, when will this product be available? Because you just said that you make it from scratch, so you make it at home. How can consumers purchase this product, and when it will be made available to the to everyone, to the mass?
You
I
can
guess.
hit me up on Facebook, or we have a website, www.nblnoblehouse.com, that you can go to. We have a Square page. You can, once you order, I can send you an invoice. You can pay your invoice, and I can ship it directly to your door. Today, I'm up here at Fort Jackson and the VA, working with some vendors to get it on their shelves as well. So this is something that there is no plan B for this. This is it. It's all or nothing. So I've been trying to grind this thing out. We sold out during a hurricane, which it surprised me. And so like what I have with me today, I will probably sell out. So when I get back down to Salters, I got to get back in the lab and make some more. But it's in order. The more that's ordered, the more I'm going to make. I'm doing this for people to be healthy, not to get wealthy. So if I don't sleep until next year, that's fine.
So, so you're entrepreneur. Okay. What is the pros for you? What are the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur?
Well, you work for you. You get to determine your own success. You have to have that hunter mentality. And when I say a hunter mentality, you're only going to eat what you kill. And so with that, you have to do continuous market analysis. You have to see where the market is going, what the market is doing. How can I capitalize off of what the market is doing, and where can I go to make sure that I put my product in the right places for people to see and to get that continuous exposure to the people that I'm trying to capture. And that's usually men between the ages of 21 and infinity that have beards. Now, I've looked at my Facebook responses to my pages. 56% of my orders last month came from females, which is awesome because women are buying this for their husbands, boyfriends, whoever. Dads, little brother, big brother, whoever. And that's great. So what I did from there is, well, since women are seeing this for their husbands or their boyfriends or that significant male in their life, we're coming out with a product that's specifically for women. And that's part of my reason of being up here today. We're working with another vendor for some yoni oil. I didn't know about yoni oil until somebody hit me to it. But, however, it gives some of the same benefits that lion's milk gives to beards, it gives to young ladies in a certain area of their body. Now, the cons of being an entrepreneur is all of the above. Everything I just mentioned. You have to have that hunter mentality, because if you don't, you're not going to survive. You determine your own success. If you're not determined to be successful, then if you decide, hey, I'm not going to get out of the bed today and grind and make it happen, then guess what? You're not going to get out of the bed. So you have to have it in your mind every day that, today has to be successful. I coined the phrase glass balls and rubber balls. Glass balls are things that you cannot drop during the day, period, point blank. You have to keep those in rotation. Rubber balls, you can let them drop maybe once or twice because they're going to bounce back up. Glass balls cannot be dropped whatsoever. So every day you got to get up and determine what are your glass balls and what are your rubber balls.
Man, that's some profound stuff you just said. Glass ball and a rubber ball. I ain't never heard that before, man. That's great, man. That's actually, some good advice for other aspiring entrepreneurs. You being an entrepreneur, you do have certain freedoms. What are the challenges that you face financially? Maybe it may be, trying to, find, the recipe, maybe something to say, ain't at the store, I mean, we got a shortage on butter or something. I don't know if you use that in the recipe, but you have those kinds of challenges, man, as far as, financial?
Well, financially, I funded this out of my own pocket. Thank God above that I'm fortunate enough to be a disabled veteran, and so I get a check every month. However, when you're starting your own business, you again goes those glass balls and rubber balls. There ain't gonna be no trips to Vegas this month. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pop out and fly out to Greece this month, because I have a business to run, and I have a financial responsibility because I have to order product, I have to pay vendors. My cones, they come with my logo on them. My labeling is my logo, so people have to get paid. I have other families now depending on me to pay my bills to them so they can feed their family. So the labeling and all that is done by a vendor, but everything that's mixed, the product itself is mixed by me, and so I have to order that product. So those are my financial responsibilities. Was it a drain at first? Yes, it was. But you have to do what we call a cost analysis. What is this going to cost me to produce, and how can I make enough money to stay on the right side of not broke, so to speak?
Right. You already gave some good advice. You did. You gave us this analogy of the glass ball and the rubber ball. Is there any other advice you can give, and particularly in this situation where you have somebody who's an entrepreneur, but they're still working a full-time job, so now they're going out on faith, and they're working aside, they have a side income, or just maybe that entrepreneur, their new business is just providing supplementary income. What is the advice you would give to those who are working full-time jobs and also working for their own business? Do I have to work 70 hours a day, 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, just to make it happen? You got any advice, especially when it comes to time management? Maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
First off, yes, of course, time management is key. Like I said, the glass balls and the rubber balls, you have to understand what you can drop and what you can't drop. Secondly, is do what you love. If you're gonna start a business, make it something that you love. Make it something that you have a passion for. That way, it doesn't seem so much like work. If you like to knit or crochet, and that's something you do in your spare time anyway, you can do that. There are people that will pay for products that are handmade. There are places you can go to sell them, not only in person but online as well. Amazon has a marketplace just for handmade items, and a lot of people don't know that. If you have something that you're passionate about, chase that, and it's going to get hard. normal 9 to 5, every day, dress right dress, it's gonna get hard because everything you're gonna feel like the world. You got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and everything falls on you, right? Connect yourself with other entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. Get a mentor. Get somebody that has done this and get advice from them. Because the one thing that I was fortunate to have was people who have started their own business around me, connected to me. And everybody was like, well, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should do this, and you should do that. But what am I passionate about? That's what I had to ask myself. What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about this beard of mine. I love my beard. And I want my days, and I want, my image to be something that people remember for a very long time. Because, if you really think about it, go back 3 generations. Can anybody that's listening or anybody in the studio tell me what your great grandfather's middle name was? I know you probably can, but it's a lot of people that don't know what their great grandfather's middle name was. I want my middle name to be remembered.
What you just said was great. Always have a mentor. It really, it can help. That is very important, especially for networking. Especially find somebody that's where they are and figure out how they get to where they are. It can, help. But the thing is, I want to kind of get into some more serious questions. Basically, you are what they call a Generation X. There seems to be some kind of attention between generations. What are the differences that you see when it comes to Generation X and Y? I know one of the main differences, we're not working one place for 20 years. You were in the military for 20 years, so you stay put. But do you see a difference with the younger generation? Are they putting in that same 20 years, or what do you think is the biggest difference between them two, Generation X and my generation, pretty much, as they call them, millennials?
I think the biggest difference is with per se your generation. Everything is TikTok and social media. My generation is more email based. I'm a little bit. I was raised by parents that they're old school. My parents. You met my parents. They're old school. They got to come in and talk to you, shake your hand, look you in the eye. So I have some of that still in me. That's why I'm out here grinding. I'm out here talking to people. I'm not just emailing you and hoping you respond to me. I'm gonna write to your face. And your generation, sometimes y'all get as aggression, and it's really not. It's just I'd rather you tell me no to my face than hide behind an email or hide behind some TikTok video or a Facebook Messenger post. I'd rather you just say, hey, no, we're not ready to buy, or we don't want that product. We don't want to do business with you. And I get to ascertain from you, hey, why? Because that gives me a chance to solve the objection. Because you can't hide behind, a standard line. So another thing is, I think we've gotten into the mode of not wanting to wait for a good product. We want a quick product. And a lot of times, more times than not, quick ain't gonna be good, and good ain't gonna be quick.
Right. You were just talking about the differences between Generation X and Y, as they call, the millennials.
Yeah.
And just let you know this is a safe space, man. It's a safe space. Um, yeah. Let's go deeper now, because you were brought up by what they call baby boomers. So
Uh-huh.
there, and there's not a lot of them left. So the world is different now. So um, it's going to look a lot different in the next 20 years, especially in this country. Uh, you were ordained, you are an ordained minister. This is one of your, um, that's pretty much, you're a very talented person. But I don't know if anybody know that you are an ordained minister. The thing is, I want to ask you, talk a little bit about religion. Basically, in this country, especially with the younger folks, especially the millennials, um, Christianity is not the dominant religion amongst millennials anymore. There's a lot of people, a lot of young people are leaving the faith, leaving the church. Just got a quick question. What do how do you feel about that? Do you believe they are leaving the church, or why do you think you know, that's happening?
Because the church isn't changing. You have to adapt to the times. And I say this, and I'm probably going to get some backlash on it, but I'm the type of dude, I really don't care. You ask the question, I'm going to tell you how I feel. You can't stay in one place expecting different results. Do you get where I'm coming from? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is insanity. So if you got young people leaving the church, you have to understand why. Because number one, ain't nobody, young or old, gonna stay where they ain't getting saved. And you gotta understand what appeals to these young people. Because I was kind of, I guess, looked at as a maverick. I grew up and I got out of Salt. I left. And I didn't return for a very long time. I went, I did my thing in the military. Even after I got out, I stayed in Dallas for a long time. And it was kind of looked at like, what is he doing? I never lost that upbringing. So even if that young person doesn't stay at your church in particular, they stay in the church. Because that's the overall goal for them to lead people to Christ. That's the overall goal. But too many ministers want bodies in their building and not souls for heaven. And I think that if we can adapt to take the church itself out of just the four walls, because if COVID taught us one thing, we don't need a building to have church. We don't. We've utilized Facebook, we've utilized Zoom, we've utilized one call, we've utilized all kinds of methods to reach the masses. And there's times, I'm not even gonna lie, like when COVID was really, really hitting, I would be at 3 different church services in one day. One in Chicago, one in South Carolina, one in Texas.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we have to meet people where they're at. If they're on TikTok, guess what, Pastor? Get you a TikTok. If they're on Snapchat, get you a Snapchat, Pastor. You got to go where they're at. That's what Jesus did. Jesus went where the sinners were. He didn't just go to the church and say, hey, all these saved people, come on, sit around me and let's have, let's sing songs. No, hey, you, lady at the well, this woman with the issue of blood, hey, this man that has leprosy, let me come minister to you. He didn't go to where all the saved and the happy and the joyful people were. He went to those that were without, that were downtrodden, that needed guidance. And that's what we're not doing. We're too busy sitting up in four walls thinking that that's what church is, but that's not what it is. Your ministry can move anywhere in the world if you allow it to.
Another question on this topic. So we were just talking about baby boomers, all right, and the generation that came before you and me, all right. Like I said, there's not a lot of them left. You know, are we basically are we concerned about the future of the church? Because with not a lot of young people in the church, you got a lot of older people who are still there, but we know they're not going to be around forever. You know, I was watching a video on Facebook and people, made fun of it, but it broke my heart. I saw a young boy, 5, 6 years old, maybe. He was about to get baptized. Um, and of course, he's a kid, so he doesn't, understand. But as the preacher went to dip his head in the water, he kind of resisted a little bit. And then the pastor said, "Yo, you were not submerged underwater all the way. So we have to do it again." And the young boy said, "Man, you're doing too much." It's a little 5, 6 year old boy. So the mother posted it. She was very embarrassed. You got another video who a couple years ago was a young man who doing an Easter speech. And he stood there for about 3 minutes and said, "Man, I'm tired of this church." How can we get kids to really get excited about God early on without doing what is called burnout? Because I know you probably went to church, 3 or 4 times a day, like most of us did. You know what I mean? How you get kids excited about God without, because they're the future. So how can we get them excited without taking away certain things? You can't go to football tonight because you can't go to a football game because tonight's revival. Like,
You have to understand that the attention span is different now. The attention span is very different. There's a reason why Twitter was originally was only 140 characters. There's a reason why TikTok videos are like 15 seconds, right? Because the attention span, you have to get their attention quick, deliver your message sharp, and leave them with something to think about until the next interaction. That's key, because your average, we'll say 7, 8, 9-year-old, right? They're not gonna sit up in church all day long like I did when I was 7, 8, and 9. Like, this 1 hour thing, 1.5 hour church now, it's like, whoa, where did this come from? Like what happened? Like, I remember times we go to church at 9 o'clock and wouldn't leave till 3. Like, we worked the whole shift at church almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nowadays, was that? Yeah, these kids nowadays, they're not gonna be able to do that. So you have to specialize by age group. And if your church is not that big, get all the kids together. You can teach the same lesson that the pastor's teaching, but you can adapt that in a kid's environment or a young person's environment to something that they can relate to. Our generation, just between you and our generations are different. We understand things differently. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Because once I understand how you receive information, I can adapt my message to better talk to you. It's not that I'm changing what I'm saying. I'm just saying it so you grasp it better. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely makes sense. And I like how you talked about the struggles that young people are going through today with attention spans, because that is one of our one of our major hurdles and obstacles that's in the way, our attention span. A lot of us were diagnosed with ADD and ADHD and all that, and I just never like to use those things as a crutch, man. But at the same time, when you're talking about church, the people from before us, they're used to having church 2, 3 hours a day. Used to have what is called morning service. Used to have morning service. Yes, used to have Sunday service, and used to have evening service. It was, 3 times a day, like literally. 3 times. What you said about leaving for the next interaction makes sense. So, having church 3 times a day, and especially with revival, you know, another person on a lady on Facebook said that she wanted her son to know God instead of him going to a football game on Friday. When I said this is something I saw on Facebook. She wanted him to go on revival. She wanted to go to revival. You know, revival is another thing. All right, it's totally it's another thing. Now you don't have revival every week. You usually have it. Every so often. You know what I mean?
Yeah, once every 6 months or once a year.
Man, okay. My church had it every season. Every time the weather changed,
Some places are different.
we had one for spring, fall, summer, winter. But it is, speaking of winter. It is November. Okay, it is Veterans Day is coming up. So just want to let you know. Thank you for your service. You are a veteran. You just said that you were in the military for 20 years. We do appreciate your service for us. My question to you, as far as you being a veteran, um, when it comes to being in the military, in the army, you meet with a lot of different people. You meet with people with different values, different opinions, different beliefs. um, I'm pretty sure you came across some people who are liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat. Some people who are from another way of life. Particularly anybody from Muslim to anybody, white conservatives. How do y'all come together, especially in times of, especially during, times of war? How do y'all come together despite, you know, your differences to fight for something that you say is a greater, purpose, or for, something that you call the greater good? How do y'all come together? How do y'all?
First, first of all, thank you for your support. To answer your question, honestly, being an infantryman, and we pride ourselves on being the baddest jokers on the planet.
Message.
Ain't about who's in the White House. It's not about who's your congressman back home. It's not about, whether I believe I'm pro-life or pro-choice. It's not about if I'm pro-2A or anti-2A. It's about the man to your left and your right. Plain and simple. If you've ever watched 300 Sparta or 300 or any of those shows, any of those movies like that, it's not about politics on the battlefield. Because that joker on the other end, he don't care about your politics. He don't care who your president is. He don't care who your God is. He's still shooting at you. So me and you are bickering about, Sally wants to have an abortion and she shouldn't or she should. Guess what? The enemy has already won. So I say that to say this. Traditionally, military people, we benefit when there's a Republican president in office, traditionally. I am conservative by nature.
Oh, yeah.
I vote for a party. I vote for a candidate. And that's what saves me, because I'm not going to sit here and say, Democrats say, oh, they're always right. Republicans, they're always right. No. You have some that are and some that aren't. You have some people that will tell you, come to my barbershop and talk to the people I talk to, and they ain't even got hair on their head or a beard on their face. It's kind of hard to sell me a Toyota when you drive a Chevrolet. I'm sorry. So, I say that to say this. We're not going to always agree on politics, but what we will agree on in the military is that's my brother and my sister to my left and my right. I got his or her back. Period. Point blank. Now, off the battlefield, if we want to argue about a game of Uno, that's fine. But But we don't do that in front of the enemy.
So maybe a guy who just voted for Bush instead of Gore. He doesn't see you. If you voted for Gore and he voted for Bush, he doesn't see you as a political opponent. You're that guy to the left or you that guy to the right, and y'all got each other's back.
That's it. That's it.
That's beautiful, man.
Period. Point blank. That's it. And you can't allow religion or politics to interfere with the job that you are sent into a theater to do. And it doesn't even have to be combat related. It can just be training. Whatever politics you have, if we're training or we're doing whatever we're doing, it has nothing to do with what we're doing. We have a mission to accomplish, and that's priority. Now, all that other stuff, we get to that later on. We can argue, fuss, fight about that later on. I have friends that are deeply conservative. I have friends that are deeply liberal. Guess what? I get along with both of them because I can see their viewpoint on certain things.
Another thing, and that's great, man. That's beautiful. Again, thank you for your service. Veterans Day, I believe, is just next week. So
My birthday's in 2 days.
oh yeah, your birthday's in 2 days.
Friday, the 4th.
Oh man, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. You know, we just talked about business. We talked about politics. We talked about the military. Just want to learn a little bit more about you. You are a fan of hip hop,
Yes, sir.
and I know now. These questions were kind of prepared early on, like before last week. I can't get on here and talk about hip hop and not mention the news that just happened that we just learned about a couple of days ago. There has been tragedy in the hip hop world yet again. It's always about gun violence. I don't not going to beat around the bush. I think we all know what I'm talking about. Um, One of the members of an infamous group called Migos got caught in a crossfire. You know, it was ruled an accident. That's what people are saying. I just want to kind of throw that out there because I know it's fresh news. Um, with that being said, who's your top five? And since we're talking about Migos, rest in peace to Takeoff. What was your favorite Migos song?
My favorite Migos
I
song,
know you got one. You ain't that one.
Bad and Bougie. Bad and Bougie. Bad and And to go with that, when he was talking to Joe Budden, who said I was left off of Bad and Bougie?
let me tell y'all something. Okay? I want everybody to understand this. All right. When Joe Budden asked Takeoff, why were you not on Bad and Bougie? Takeoff replied, what do you mean? Who said I was left off of Bad and Bougie? Takeoff wrote Bad and Bougie. Okay? He wrote that song. No, he did not do a verse on that song because of logistical reasons. They didn't have enough time. And from what I'm told, it was a time thing. But he was involved with Bad and Bougie. Okay.
Exactly.
So I just want to make that clear. I'm not trying to make this, a thing here, but let that be known to Mr. Budden.
And not up for debate either.
Listen, I am class of 2015. I went to college during the height, the golden age of what they call trap music. So when I was in college, Migos was the next best thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, everybody knows handsome and wealthy, fight night, but Versace was the record that put them on. You know, this is a group who really made mixtapes. Like in hip hop, you know, mixtapes is how you get your. That's how you get your music together. That's how you get your music promoted.
Yeah.
You know, these guys make $1 million off a mixtape. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, it's very unfortunate though. Another thing I want to mention is that when it comes to young people, you know, it just seems like, you know, with the senseless killing, you know, we're not living to see 30. A lot of us, he was 28, you know.
Yeah.
I'm 29. I'll be 30, you know, in May. You know, that's just something to think about. But with that being said, man, who's your top 5?
I couldn't narrow it down to 5. I gotta give you 10. I'm gonna go fast because I know we time crunch. We in a time crunch, and I got that. Number 10, and I say this with the utmost respect because he can unseat anybody on this list at any given moment. My man, Toby the Wingway out of Houston.
Who?
Toby the Wingway.
I don't know who that is.
Here's the truth.
I don't know
Yes.
who that is. Y'all know who that is?
T.I. Honorable mention at number 9, 50 Cent. Number 8, Remy Ma. Number 7, Big Shaud. Honorable mention at number 7, LL Cool J, because he ain't rapping right now. He's making movies. He's making movies and films. Number 6, Eminem. Number 5, Jada Kiss. Mwah.
Ah,
4,
Kiss of Death.
number 3, Jay-Z. Number 2, Tupac Shakur. And number 1, B.I.G. P.O.P.P.A. No info for the DEA.
You got to switch that around, kid. You got to switch that around. I ain't gonna hold it to it, man. I ain't gonna hold it to it. I ain't gonna hold it to it.
That's my top 10.
That's what's up. Everybody, look, you know me. I have a top 10. I can't put them all in order, but I have top 10. You know, my top 5 is Jada Kiss, dead or alive, bro.
Amen. My
Yeah.
Keep song used to be me by Jada.
Jada Kiss. It's Jada Kiss, Ice Cube, Tupac, Biggie, and Ricky Rose.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if Rose is ready for the top 10 yet.
That's my top 10, man.
I got you.
That's my top 10. I mean, I'm not saying, and see, I'm not saying he's top 5. I'm just naming 5 random people off the top of my head.
Okay.
So he's not top 5. You know, I probably wouldn't put him that far up. Because you just mentioned LL Cool J. And I think, you know, LL Cool J is one of the best rappers who turned actor.
Yeah.
Him, 50 Cent, Ice Cube, Will Smith, and Queen Latifah.
Yeah, you got to put them in there. You know, if it wasn't for people like Queen Latifah and Moni Love, we wouldn't have, you know, what's the girl's name? The How Do You Barbie?
Nicki Minaj?
Nicki Minaj, yeah, that's her. Yeah, her, that chick. We wouldn't have none of these people if it wasn't for Queen Latifah. And we didn't have a Foxy Brown. We didn't have a Remy Ma.
Foxy Brown. You know, now you do know who Remy Ma's, you know, her and Papoose.
Yeah.
They're together.
Yeah.
Papoose is just another, you know, underrated rapper that nobody really, you know, talks about, man.
Most definitely. Every year, this man comes out with something different.
Yeah, he's very prolific. He's very prolific when it comes to mixtapes and albums. Very prolific.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to talk about NBA YoungBoy. This NBA YoungBoy just released another album. He's about to release another one. This man just released 3 albums in 1 year. But Papoose was doing that way before NBA YoungBoy, man. Very prolific in the game. You know, man, but who's your top five? You know, here now, modern day. I know you listen to him.
Oh man, modern. If you're talking about hip hop and rap, I would say in no particular order. I would definitely have to put the Migos in there. Still Toby.
Who?
Toby the Wigway. Look him up if you don't know who he is. Look him up. Cat out of I think he's out of Florida named Moonwalker. Yeah, man, that's hard. I don't really. I like some of Shaud stuff, and that's really about it. You know, maybe Young Thug. You know, the baby, little baby, all the babies.
Y'all, make sure y'all pray for Young Thug. One of the members in his camp is going down for those RICO charges. He just was sentenced 3 life sentences. That's pretty much a big deal because they gave that to a member of Young Thug's camp. So Young Thug is still incarcerated. He's still in jail. He's still waiting to be sentenced. So, let's hope hope things change. But to everybody else out there who's in the music industry or a rapper or artist, please stay out of trouble.
Oh yeah, because it's easy to get in trouble. It's hard to get out. I promise you. I promise you. Keep whatever you do, man. And again, RIP Takeoff, man. One minute, a 1 minute decision, not even a 1 minute, a 1 second decision for somebody to pull out a gun over something so trivial as a dice game has ended this young man's life.
Yeah, he
So
was just
many
innocent
people now
bystander.
are affected by that. His family, his friends.
He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and please take that video down.
I mean,
I don't want to see that video. Please take it down. Don't share that video. Have some respect.
Yeah, you can't take it back after that round is fired. You can't take it back. So think before you pull out a gun. Think before you put yourself in a situation that not only is your life gone, but that person in front of you's life is gone too because of something stupid. You really got to think nowadays because people are gonna push you. They're gonna test you. A lot of people say, "Hey, I'm acting different." Why? Because I'm moving different. Because it's dangerous. It's dangerous, and it's not that I fear for my life. It's just that I know that things.
Stop hanging out at the corner store, man, at the mall, bro. Like,
yeah, in an instant.
People out there to hurt you, man. Just understand that. Don't be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Whether you expecting it, I mean, you could be Mr. Goody Two Shoes, ain't never stepped on a bug. A bullet has no name.
That's true. KT, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Time is winding down. It's 1 more minute. It's about to be 12 o'clock, running out of time. But, man, thank you so much for your wisdom. Make sure to post, your Twitter, your social media handle. Lion's Milk.
Post on my social media platforms. I tag waen-tv. I tag Noble House LLC. It's www.nblnoblehouse.com. You can reach me directly, CEO@nblnoblehouse.com. That's my email address. Reach out to me on Twitter, on Facebook. K. Terrell Bradley on Facebook. Carry_Bradley1. Pretty much on everything else. Hit me up. Let's talk. If you have a store, I don't have a brick and mortar just yet. Once I open a brick and mortar, everything will be located there. Where that's going to be, I don't know. I'm looking at my market analysis, and I'm getting a lot of traffic out of Columbia, South Carolina, and Andrews, South Carolina. So I don't know. Andrews is closed. Columbia's got, up here we got Fort Jackson, we got the VA. There's all kind of stuff up here. So it just depends. It may be both. We never know. But let's figure that out. Thank you for your time, Mr. Shaud. Hey, blessings upon blessings, brother.
Thanks, man. You too, man. Be blessed out here. Take it easy, man. Always promote your products, man. It's wonderful. So this will be a good, little gift, for Christmas coming up. So don't forget.
Christmas is right around the corner, ladies.
Yep, 7 weeks.
Man, smelling good. You want him to have that name that's insane? Get him some lion's milk. He'll never be the same. I promise you. And when we got the yoni juice on the shelf, you'll never feel the same again. Thank you for your time, Mr. Shaud.
All right, man. Thanks, bro. Thanks, KT Bradley, Lion's Milk. Get it. Y'all, this is DJ Big Shot, waen-tv. Take care.